Sean, you are up first with your poem. Do you want to tell us about your poem first?
It's very hard writing poems. I had a go at it. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's easy to start, quite difficult to finish. As John spoke as a fan of the limerick, I'm a fan, and I've created my own genre of limericks, which is the gritty limerick, which is taking a light-hearted, jaunty medium and addressing some quite powerful social issues. Well, this one deals with, I think, that old society, something that we ignore. It's a pain that's going on in every street, which is the neglect of older people. And this one is, it's quite a beautiful one, quite proud of it. Old Mary from flat 52 died months before anyone knew.
That's f***ing heartbreaking.
She pegged out on the bog, was eaten by a dog, and all that was left was a shoe.
Miles, can we have your poem?
And can you stop... You're moving around quite a lot.
Shut up.
You just
I don't want this degenerating into the sort of shambles we've seen over there. People's emotions coming far too readily to the surface.
You just keep moving. Just can't you sit still?
Right.
You fat f***.
This is for you, John. Not these f***ing ball bags. It's absolutely amazing to me performing poetry on Countdown on TV. Because my metre and scansion and rhyming aren't that great, actually, like my maths.
Joe, your poem.
My poem's about something very special to me. We all follow through occasionally. We all occasionally accidentally shit ourselves. But what's important is what you do afterwards. So this poem's about the last time I shat myself in public. I felt the sharp, recognisable pain, and out it came. I didn't want anyone to know that I'd shat myself again. So I stood up and shouted, "Oi! Someone's just shoved shit down the back of my tracksuit bottom." No one leaves this optician's until we find out the truth. The optician knew I was lying because it was only me and her in there. And she was almost certain she hadn't shoved shit down the back of my tracksuit. I continued to read from the eye chart on the wall like nothing had happened. But she politely ushered me to leave. I tried to book another appointment, but she was having none of it. As that was the third time I shat myself at her clinic that week alone.
Sean, have you got a mascot?
No, I haven't got any mascot, Jimmy, but I've got something that I've reprieved. Something... the clamour for more of these has become overwhelming for my gritty limericks.
Oh.
Since I pointed out that the limerick was originally written as a sort of topical, sort of social comment, really, so then they became sort of like light-hearted, saucy postcard-type jokes. And I'd like to read a few of my gritty limericks for you now, if I may.
Yeah.
And this first one is basically about the breakup of the nuclear family and the profound impact it has on one or both parents. Oh. There was a divorced dad from Kent, to whom at the weekend his children were lent. They all went to the zoo. He said, "It's your mum, not you." And into the lion's cage he went. Very, very sad. I think we can all agree. This next limerick deals with one of the recent evils of modern Britain, a growing industry of misery, the payday lender. There was a single mum from Ongar. I mean, I can finish. Who, for money, relied upon Wonga. The cash she all spent at 4,000%, and now a home she has no longer.
Lee Mack.
My poem is called Old Age Pensioners' Knickers. Roses are red, violets are blue, Ethels are green.
OK. Sean, have you brought a mascot?
Well, yes, Jimmy. I think I'd revisit something very popular of mine, which is the gritty limericks. I think we're all well aware that I've revived the limerick in its original form, which is a piece of social commentary. It's a way of dealing with some quite sensitive issues in a light-hearted, fun way. You know? And I've got a few here. This one is something that I think upset a lot of people, which is the whales that got washed up on beaches here. There once was a beach in Skeggy where a whale was on its last leggy. It was dampened by hose and pecked at by crows, but still, it ended up deady. This one's about an issue that's obviously in the news a lot, only the other day, was obesity amongst children. Our kids, they're all getting fatter from eating food that's covered in batter. With too many pies and no exercise, they'll collapse face down in a meat platter. And, you know, something we've all got to deal with. OK, this one. It was a troubling start to the year for celebrities who are no longer here. With tears in our eyes, they were falling like flies. But sadly, no one from Top Gear.
Joe, what is your poem about?
My poem's about something very important to me. It's about how come it's OK to name you Willie, but it's not OK to name the fella's Willie next to you at the urinals. So my poem's called Hanging About in a Train Station Toilet Naming People's Penises. Hello, commuter, on your way to work. I'm going to call yours Captain Birdseye. Because it looks like it's wearing a polo neck and winking at me. You're welcome. I just named your penis. Hello, train driver who just nipped in for a piss. I'm going to call yours Mrs. Fernsby. my old geography teacher. Because you're small and wrinkly and have a birthmark down the side of your shaft. You're welcome. I just named your penis. Hello, please. Hello, please.
Stop.
Hello. Hello, police officer.
Oh, God.
Hello, police officer who's just been sent to the toilets because they've had reports of someone naming people's You can't arrest me for naming strangers' dogs. Oh, you can? I didn't know that. Oh, great, now I'm electronically tagged again.
John, you're up first.
So, my poem is about language. It's about words, something I care about. It's called Pozzolans.
Are you pronouncing that correctly?
Susie, am I pronouncing that?
What's it called?
Pozzolans.
Yeah, Pozzolana. Shall I explain what it is?
You don't need to explain.
No,
It's
because
all
you're
in the
about to
poem,
tell
mate.
us.
Someone got a 9-letter word but had no clue what it meant. So over we trot, pen cap in hand, for the verdict of Susie Dent. It's a class of silicious or aluminous materials possessing little or no cementitious value until combined with water and calcium hydroxide. Oh. I don't mean to criticise brilliant minds or be any way demeaning, but what is the point of even knowing the word if you don't also know the meaning? The words I favour have a different flavour and they erupt from your bowels when they're needed. The middle classes just polish their glasses and whine, who said that? I say we did. I'm not anti-semantic or unromantic, and I know le mot juste is worth sharing, but if you want my opinion, in the United Kingdom, we're particularly good at swearing. I'll tell you for free, with immeasurable glee, I'm f***ed, he's a twat, and it's bollocks.
OK. Sean Locke, have you got a mascot?
No, Jimmy, I don't. But, you know, we've played a lot of games of Countdown. I've been playing it for a while now, and just accidentally, I've invented a new form of sort of literature, poetry. And the idea is it's very short stories using the A to Z, so each word is a consecutive letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
For example, alpacas buy chips during Easter for good health. In July, Kit Kats. Llamas mostly nibble oranges particularly quickly. Rabbits snuffle truffles unaware vultures will X-ray your zombies. Here's another one. Very proud of this one. A bear cub daily eats 5 gorillas. However, in July, kippers look more nutritious. Once, Pauline Quirk reputedly said, tickle ladders vibrate wattles, explode your zip.
Phil.
Oh, good. My poem is a bit shorter, but I make up for it with passion.
Well, I can hear it in your voice.
This poem is dedicated to people who talk loudly on the train. Shut the f*** up. Shut the f***ing up. This is a train, you pigs. People are trying to cry. I want to look out the window in silence and regret my f***ing life. Instead, I've got to hear you complain about your sandwich to your wife. I hope you choke on that Branson pickle and Branson f***ing die.
Well, Katherine, you're to go first. Take it away.
My poem is about being single.
OK.
I really love the lonely life. My house is always spotless. I do know married women, though. I would describe most as a hot mess. Will I stay this way forever? The trouble with men is they're dicks. I won't deny there's one thing about them that I can't resist. They're dicks.
Sean, you're next. What's your poem about?
It's about the looming pensions crisis that this country's facing. So, here we go. Something I think I should mention. You're buggered if you don't have a pension. A child born in Blighty must work till he's 90. And if he's a pilot, this may cause some tension.
OK, John, you're next. Take it away.
This is called My Daughter's Laugh. My daughter's laugh is a wonderful sound. It pricks the ears of all around. It's the sound that kickstarts my everyday, my music, my bird song, my firework display. Stay young, stay happy, just giggle and titter. But just at the moment, Daddy's trying to watch the darts, and it is the final, to be fair, so could you f***ing tone it down a bit, please?
Roisin.
I'm not very good at poems. OK. The man with 3 balls juggled them. but it didn't work. Susan left and took the rest of the Merlot.
When you say the man with the 3 balls, was he a juggler or was
I didn't make it clear that they were his balls.
I thought it was a juggler trying to impress a lady.
No, it's meant to be like testicles. And he's meant to... What I should have said was the man with 3 balls juggled them to lighten the mood. I'll do it when I get home.
OK, Bob, you've written a poem.
Come on.
Thanks, Johnny.
Hey.
I awake with a face like a disgruntled pug, like a haunted oven, like an archer's finger, like an abandoned pan, but at least so far, not the face of Jimmy Carr. I'm sorry, Jimmy, I don't take it personally. You're a handsome young man, I'm a wizened old walnut.
Well, what do you think of Bob's shit poem?
Well, sometimes it only takes one line, Bob, and that's memorable. The abandoned pan.
Yeah.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's dogging my every footstep.
It's really
I'm
good.
having that. Yeah, that's smashing. That.
Thank you.
Sean. Now, the thing I'd just like to say about my poem is it's proper poetry. It's a love poem. Oh, it's a love poem. Your face is like flowers. Your hair is like grass. Not green grass, no. The yellow grass you get when the fair has moved on. Your eyes aren't your best feature. But let's move on, like the fair. One day, we will get married, but not to each other. Because I work at the undertaker's. And even though I wash my hands thoroughly, you won't let me near you.
Now to go across the literary corner. Bill, what have you got for us?
Oh, well, Jimmy, you know, as it's a show about numbers and words, I thought, well, let's try and combine the two. And I thought what I'd do is I'd write a poem that incorporates numbers, but it's rubbish. So what I decided to do was focus more on the metre, you know, the rhythm of poems, and look at the numbers of that. One of them I tried was the football formation, 4-4-2. So this is a poem based on that metre. It's quite pithy, and it's about a relationship. I held you close. You look morose. Dead wasp.
I mean, blinking, you miss it, but it's very good.
Oh, it's dead. And the other one was I tried a more complex metre, the Sanquain. I'm sure you're familiar with it. The 2-4-6-8-2 metre. And I tried to encapsulate the malaise of the Western world. In this mad world spun fast, for nothing lives fly past. Helplessly, we look on aghast. Ooh, cake. But then I thought, I don't know, love is in the air. Maybe I thought I'd try love as a brilliant subject for poetry. And this is a poem I've written. It's called Long-Term Relationship. Hey, hey, remember what we said? What? That time we said that we could ask each other anything. Yeah. Well, where'd you put my keys? I don't have your keys. You must have them. I haven't got them. You're the last person to have them. Nope. Have you looked in your bag? Because that's the only place they could be. No, they're not in my bag. I don't have them. Well, then they've been stolen. Have you looked on the hook where they usually are? No. Thank you very much. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Bailey. OK, Kevin, you're up first. Take it away.
Yes, that poem. This is actually a tribute to Countdown.
Oh, well, fabulous.
That I penned on the train here. An ode to Countdown. Countdown is a telly show of letters, words and sums. Countdown is a telly show for the unemployed and full-time mums. Countdown is a telly show for eating crisps and smoking blow, so when that clock begins to tick and the only word that you have is dick. Remember, it's a bit of fun, and you can try again on Channel 4+1.
What did you make of that poem?
I thought that was fabulous. I thought he's got the demographic nailed.
Jessica, you're up next.
I've taken inspiration from the sonnets of a poet called William Shakespeare. Because I'm married and, you know, got a baby on the way, so what I'm trying to say is I've moved on from my past life and I'm in a really good place now. It's about my ex. It's called Hate Sonnets 18. Shall I compare thee to a drizzly day? Thou art more miserable than thrush. Thou art a verruca, thou art an ingrown hair, thou art a nosebleed, an ad for Go Compare. Thou art a hangover on January the 1st, thou art stepping on an upturned plug, the stench of urine after asparagus. Indoor traces of slug. Thou art my last Rolo in a bad way. And taxis all long gone. Thou wast lying when thou said thou wast staying over at Dave's. I was actually going down on my friend Kate.
OK, up next, John Richardson, your poem.
Well, you can't beat that, can you? Unless I try and perform as John Cooper Clarke.
Well, yeah, give it a crack.
I should have tried it out in private to see if it's offensive or not.
Well, I don't think there's any better forum than on television for the first time.
Let's just find out if he's going to punch me in the face. You should see my impression of a beagle in a cardigan. Musicians and actors, do they get on? I've heard they go shopping to keep the bond strong. A Western singer in Spa with a Western film star. I wonder, did Twain and Wayne avoid the rain on the train? But the best sight of all, and I think you'll agree, is Elton shoe shopping with his best friend Bradley. Who are they? Where are they? 3 words only. John Cooper Clark's.
Well, that was fabulous. Always nice to get a name check. That's got a lot going for it, that, John.
Thanks, John.
And last but least, Joe.
My poem's called Thanks, Mate, Now I've Shat Myself.
Well, I think we've got a winner there, haven't we? I mean...
If I'm running towards the lav shouting, "It's coming out! It's coming out!" don't stop me and ask me where I got my nest of tables. Thanks, mate. Now I've shat myself. And don't dare me to eat 50 Cadbury's cream eggs, then let me have a go on your trampoline. What do you think was going to happen? Thanks, mate. Now I've shat myself. And don't tickle me when I'm chatting to the bus driver about how much I shit myself. Thanks, mate. Oh, hang on. I don't think I followed through that time. Oh, no, I have. Thanks, mate. I shat myself.
OK, time now to go across to Dictionary Corner. Tim, what have you got for us?
I've got an acrostic.
Acrostic?
An acrostic. Do you know what that is?
No.
We need to see a doctor about it.
An acrostic is where I've got a poem, but it's written as an acrostic, where the letters come down on one side, and then you make a poem going across using the letters from the word that's going down.
Well, that sounds very difficult to do.
This is based on Countdown.
Right.
So I've got which is the show, and so Countdown goes down there, and then I've written a poem using the words going across with the letters starting the words. So
Shit
the first
yourself
word
when you
was...
got to that W, didn't you? Someone was overconfident with the CO.
Yeah, I thought I was on A3.
Only on Countdown could you hear the phrase, "You shit yourself" when you got to that W. Well, I'm dying to hear this now. Go on. So...
Yeah, but also it's a haiku as well. So it means that the first line has got 5 syllables, then the second one 7, and the third one 5. And the theme is Countdown. And because of all of those restrictions, it's shit. OK, consonants useful. I missed the O. Numbers, too difficult-ish, because it needed to be 7, so numbers, too difficult-ish. It just leaves 5 syllables and OWN. I've nailed it. Only Whiteley knows, and there's knows without the K.
OK, time to go across Jiu-Jitsu Corner once again. Nick, what have you got for us?
I have another poem. So this is a poem called I Love You So Much. I love you so much. I love you so much I would do anything for you, anything at all, you name it. I would swim the channel for you. I don't know why you'd want me to do that, as you know I have a fear of water and there are loads of other ways to get across the channel these days. Planes, trains, ferries being free, but I wouldn't question it and I would do it anyway because I love you. I would climb the highest mountain for you. I would climb the second highest mountain for you. I would climb the third highest mountain for you. I would climb the 4th highest mountain for you. If you asked me to, I would cut down every flower on the planet and fill up all the vases just so you could have one day surrounded by a natural beauty that could match your own. Or, if you had hay fever in an instant, I would dump every last one of them into a mulcher, if only to stop your eyes from streaming for just 1 second. Every morning would find you gently awoken with the sound of expertly trained woodland animals who would sing a chorus of my own composition before dressing you in the finest hand-woven clothes from around the world. Because you are materialistic and I love it. I would lie for you. If you were trying to get into an over-30s disco and you were under 30 and the bouncer stopped you, I would say you were over 30 and get you in. I would lie to you if you just spent loads of money on some clothes and you tried them on for me and gave me a little fashion show and you look like a twat. I would say that you look really great to save your feelings from being hurt. I would die for you if you were crossing the road and I saw a bus travelling towards you. I'd jump in and push you out the way. If there was time, I would obviously try and get out the way too. So that we could spend the rest of our lives with each other. If there wasn't time, I would get hit by the bus knowing that I had at least saved you. And who knows, it may not be fatal anyway. They're not always, are they? I love you so much I want to wear you over my shoulders like a backpack and fill your mouth with sandwiches and books that we can read as we journey together. You're the first hit of iron brew in the morning. You're a packet of fags with no safety warning. You're the feeling of a shepherd on a wolf-free day and the thought in a runner's head that will get him through the race. And even when he finishes last, it's all right because he's got you in his brain and that's the real prize that I'm taking part. You're fat-free butter that tastes exactly like butter. You're the satisfying rhyme in every sentence I utter. You're a kiss on my cheek from a dear old gran. If it was on the lips, she was hot and she wasn't my gran. It's all good, isn't it? You're just superb. This is me, over and out. You're looking great. Word.
Nick Helm, everyone. OK, John, you're up first.
Well, this is a poem about my favourite TV programme, but I don't reveal what the programme is till the end, so you have to try and work it out as the poem's going on.
That's great, because I watch a lot on Sally.
Right, good. Well, there's clues as it builds, so see if you can work out what the programme is. Hey, guys, time to put your mount down. Leave the Queen to shout crown in her in or out gown. Turn the lights off all about town. Stop drinking port or you'll end up with gout, clown. Switch to Guinness, then in stout drown. It's a showdown, time to slow down. I'm one rhyme off a breakdown, so put the TV remote down because now it's time for Bake Off.
OK, James, your poem, please.
Thank you. My poem is about Oldham. Not this poem. Genuinely, I wrote this when I was 8 years old and I won a competition with it in primary school.
Get out of here.
Yeah, man. Untitled.
Pretentious.
There were 4 pandas in a bed and the little one said, "We are all that's left."
OK. Sarah, do you have a poem for us?
Yes, I do. I also wrote this when I was at school. I was 9, so a little bit older than James. It's my Christmas poem, and it goes like this. Christmas is a lot of fun, and Santa Claus has just begun to wrap up presents, lots of toys, all wrapped together for girls and boys. There are presents bright and bold. There are presents you can hold.
What was that last one?
They're a present you can hold.
All right, yeah.
I mean, there's others that are just like concepts. The next morning when you rise, you never ever get a surprise until that morning, Christmas Day, when everyone is happy, jolly and gay. The end.
Perfectly charming.
Thanks.
I like to be
Yeah.
encouraged. I don't like saying rotten things about
Oh, well, bless you for that. Thank you.
On the other hand, I don't want to be too encouraged.
On the other hand, it's shit.
OK, Lee, I believe you've written a poem?
I have written a poem, yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
I've known you for quite a while now, Jimmy. I wanted a way of trying to tell you how I felt about you, so I've written a poem.
Oh, that's lovely.
And this is just for you, Jimmy.
Sure.
There once was a fat kid called Jimmy who went all showbiz and got skinny. His white teeth are drastic, his wig's made of plastic, and his money's kept offshore in New Guinea.
Jack D, we haven't heard a poem from you, and I know you care passionately about so many things. You're a man of many passions. What have you chosen to write about?
Poetry is just one of them. I do write a lot of poetry, and I mean a hell of a lot of poetry. Because I knew I was coming here, I had to come on the train, and I was obviously at the bouncy castle. So I like to wear a cravat when I read poetry because I think it improves the whole ambience. And so I've got my travel cravat with me. So
yeah.
What train did you come up on? The Orient Express?
Yeah, this is... The thing that's really important to me is not meeting certain people, right? So it's called People I Have No Interest in Meeting.
Please.
One thing I've surmised about this business they call show is it's usually not wise to meet your heroes. Reason is it's often the sorry case that the person you admire is actually a twat. Celebrities and actors are a point in case. As soon as you've shook their hand, you want to smack them in the face. And sports personalities, OK, so you've won some medals. Do I want to meet you? I'd rather shoot myself in the balls. Jack, I can't believe you. Surely, John Richardson, I agree there are exceptions. It's just that he's not one. But what about your host, the amazing Jimmy Carr? Surely he's a great bloke. Not so, for Carr's the biggest arse by far.
Amazing.